I'm Jenny Doan. You may know me from my many tutorials for Missouri Star, but this isn't one of them. This is Quilt Shop Drop-In. Come with me as I crisscross the nation, dropping into quilt shops to unveil the captivating stories behind each owner's unique quilting journey. Today we're in Parkville, Missouri at the Fabric Chic, where owner Cindy has created a bustling, vibrant shop for people to learn and come together over their shared love of quilting.
Cindy, how are you?
Great. Hi, Jenny. How are you? Welcome. Have you ever been here before?
I have not been to your shop.
Well,
it's
welcome.
Beautiful. It's so bright and happy.
I'm Cindy Farrow, owner of the Fabric Chic. I opened my shop in March of 2017 on St. Patty's Day, as if we needed another reason to open a fabric shop or another reason to celebrate. Why did I open a fabric store? Well, that kind of came about after a long 29-year career in the life insurance industry. I knew I wanted to do something entrepreneurial and different, and I stumbled upon quilting back in 2012. After both my mom and dad passed away, I found a block that I had made with my mom when I was 8, and it really inspired me to start sewing. I didn't know what I was doing, but channeled mom and some YouTube videos and started sewing. Taught myself 1/4-inch seams and how to cut, how to press, how to use a sewing machine. And voila, I fell in love with just making everything. So my first quilts were really just for me. I enjoyed them. They're all packed away at home, but I really just fell in love with the process. It's been fun. You were talking about the older you get, the brighter colors you like. Well, now we're getting ready to come up on our 6-year anniversary, and I know when I first opened the store, I knew the fabrics I didn't want to order, but it was really hard to, I kind of knew what I wanted to do, but I wanted to pick things that were different and kind of push people out of their zone. Like this is kind of a fun and different. We just got this fabric in. It's kind of a new, weird, different Halloween kind of a line from Figo, and this is all 100% certified organic.
So the way we bought fabric in the beginning is that whatever we didn't sell, we knew we'd have to wear. So you have to love it.
You have to love it.
You have to love it.
Exactly. So it's been fun to kind of see the evolution of my shop and my customers. And
Cute.
so we've been trying to test the waters on different lines, as we've been in business now longer, and kind of
what works.
and kind of adjusting as economic times change and what people's buying habits are. So that's been fun. Male, female, you name it. I don't care. I want my shop to be very welcoming, and when people walk in, I want them just to go, oh wow, what a great creative place, how bright and eclectic it is. And I also want my employees to know my customers' names and know what they like and know what fabric they like or what patterns they like, and just really create a welcoming environment. And I feel like over the past 6 years, we've done such an amazing job of that. And it's one of the things I'm most proud of. And we get sewers from all skill levels here. And just everybody has a good time when they come to the Fabric Chic. Before we go to the back, let's come back up here to the front wall and let me show you some other projects we do. And this was a block of the month we did with Anna Maria called Brave. Isn't it gorgeous?
It's gorgeous.
I love her quilts because these are great skill builders for people. We do a little bit of fussy cutting, applique, matching fabric to create this medallion.
Really are. And honestly, her prints are so large that when you put them together, it looks like you worked really hard.
It does.
Like, this is just a little Dresden. We've got a little half square triangle. So they're basic blocks, but it's so joyful.
And the way we just fussy cut to make it all work, it makes it look complicated, like you said. This center quilt is by a lady from Guatemala, Priscilla Bianchi. She's actually going to be here next month. We're doing some classes, so this has got some Guatemalan fabrics mixed in.
Steps.
Yes.
Beautiful.
gosh, this is beautiful. Tell me about this one.
Well, thanks for asking. This is a quilt I made a couple of years ago, and we were pretty excited. We were on the cover of Better Homes and Gardens Quilt
You're
Sampler.
a cover girl?
I'm a cover girl.
Wow.
Well, my quilt's a cover girl.
There you go. There you go. Perfect.
So
I love it.
There's a lot of meaning in that quilt. So when I was 8, the very first block I did with my mom was a churn dash.
Oh, I love that. It's one of my favorites.
Is it?
It really is.
I love it, and unfortunately I never quilted again after that until unfortunately my mom passed away very unexpectedly in 2002, and I found my block. And it was pretty emotional, so I put it away because it was very sudden.
Can only do so much at a time.
Yes, and then 10 years later, my dad died, and then I found my block again. And I thought, all right, I'm going to go make a quilt.
This might be a sign.
It might be a
Keep
sign.
finding this.
Yep. So channeled Mom and made my first quilt.
You know, a lot of quilters work through things like that with quilting. That I always find that to be such an amazing thing.
It was very therapeutic and very releasing of a lot of emotion and creativity. So fast forward back to the magazine. When you get picked to be in the magazine as one of the top shops, you have to design a quilt.
Yeah.
So I knew a churn dash had to be in my quilt.
Very
and
cool.
Got the girls together. We all came up with an idea and wanted a lot of negative space. But we also put a little hidden message in our quilt.
Oh, yeah?
So if you look at the quilt and you see that green churn dash at the top and think of that as a dash and the round ones as dots, dash, dot, dot, dash, dot, dash, dot, dash, dot. It's International Morse code for my shop initials. So TFC for the Fabric Chick.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah, so when
that really is a hidden message.
It is a hidden message. So everybody that bought our
fun.
kit has our initials all over their quilt.
Whether they know it or not.
Exactly. So one of my favorite things to do every day is work with customers on picking fabric or picking a pattern. As a shop owner, I like to zero in on where people have challenges or have needs, because that helps me create classes or workshops that can help people continue to learn. And whenever anybody asks me to help them pick out fabric for their quilt, I get so excited because it's my opportunity to help something that's going to be for them and to help them get it right in their opinion. Now, people do ask me for my opinion, and I do have to explain to them, you're going to get my opinion, but this is your quilt. So, you know, kind of take that with a grain of salt. But I do find that people have a challenge with color sometimes. So we try to push them out of their comfort zone a little bit and stretch their color palette, as a way to put it. And so that's one of my absolute favorite things to do, is really just help people in general. I'm a Laura Heine certified instructor.
You are?
I am.
Oh my
I am.
gosh.
So probably one of the, Mary Ford and I, a lady that worked for me when I first opened, she and I went out in late 2018 and got our certification. So we were probably one of the first ones in the Kansas City area to get our certification.
It's a whole different type of quilting.
It is.
It makes you look at fabric completely differently.
I look at fabric with through a
Right?
very tiny lens to look for different ideas and lots
So
of.
I made the pin cushion,
Yes.
and let's see, I think I made the sewing machine. Yes.
So
Maybe
I
I just have the kit for that and haven't done it yet.
Haven't done it yet. Well, we need to get you working on that.
Yeah, we do.
So that's the one I got my certification with when I went to Billings, Montana, and
They're
that's
so amazing.
And now the fish has a fun story in it too. That's going to be my son Collins, and we kayak a lot together, and we bring a trash bag, and we're always.
a kayaker.
Are you really? Oh, we'll have to go do that together.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So we're always picking up trash and unfortunately beer cans and beer bottles. So there's a beer can and a beer bottle
Oh,
in the
very
in the
fun.
mud. So that's going to be his. And I put one of my dad's rooster tails up there, a real lure. I cut the barbs off
I love that.
and put it on a.
And I love that it's on a piece of wood. That's really cute.
Went out to the
That's
yard and
you know,
grabbed.
people are always asking about how to hang quilts, and that's just a great way to do it. So these are so cool, and you said you taught classes?
I do.
Do you have a special room for that?
I do.
Because it
Next-
feels like this would be...
Yeah, there's not a lot of room in here to,
No, full of
you know,
fabric.
we got a pretty tight space, but we got a jam pack. But I do have a really beautiful
Can I
classroom.
see it?
Of course you can. Let's go.
Okay.
So this is the sewing lounge. This is where all the fun happens.
It looks like a lot of fun.
Cutting a kit.
Cutting
and
kits.
Working on projects. And
Nice.
another great thing about the sewing lounge, besides teaching classes, it's a great space to bring people together to sew. I mean, face it, the history of quilting started with, sewing bees or quilting bees, where people sat around and worked hand quilted and sewed together and gossiped and told stories and talked about their children and their grandchildren and their family. So I have this great space, and people come together all the time for our sew days, and you hear them laughing and giggling. When we're over here in the shop, we can always hear people in the sewing lounge, and they're laughing at things and just having a really good time. And another great thing has been to see people meet each other in a class, and then they start taking sew days together, and you see these friendships blossom and grow. And over the years, they're doing stuff outside of the shop and going to lunch together, going to dinner together, going to the movies together. So that's another fun part of having a great community space where people can come together and work on a common passion.
And there's something that happens when you teach someone that is life-changing, because all of a sudden you see that light in their eyes and it's completely different. And so my mantra with all the quilters that I teach, it's like, all of you know somebody who wants to learn how to do this. Put your arm around them, drag them into your kitchen, and show them how to do this. Take them to a class with you, whatever it is.
Right.
Because when you teach somebody how to do this, it's life-changing.
It is.
And no longer are they going, oh, you're getting really good at that. Can you make me one of those? They're going, I'm going to pick some fabric for this new project. And you see their eyes light up. And I mean, that's when the change happens. That's when it's,
well, I know
when you're
when,
able to share what you know.
When I was telling you my mom passed away very unexpectedly, and the first thing I thought was, I'm not gonna, I didn't pay attention.
Oh,
when
I needed more time.
I needed more time because it was so unexpected, and I think that's why I just kind of tacked back into that whole creative side. She was a corporate person as well, but very, she crocheted and she did, all sorts of things. And I started my corporate career and just boom, 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 boom. And so I think that's why I just...
Well, we're pretty hyper-focused.
Yes.
So we get one thing in our sights, and that's what we go for.
So and never in a million years did I think I would ever own a quilt shop. I knew by the time I turned 50, I wanted to have my own business. I just didn't know what it was going to be yet, and the life insurance company I worked for.
And don't you just feel her smiling like
yes.
5 times a week?
And that's what I was going to say. I just think when the company I worked for, they pulled out of the life insurance industry, so all the executives, we got axed.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And so I thought, I'll take first quarter off. I still spoke in corporate speak. I'm taking first quarter off, not just for a couple of months. And I just started sewing a lot, and it was just like freeing and opening. And then I started thinking, I kind of like this. Maybe I can do this. So I just started going to different quilt shops, and what I liked, what I didn't, and just learning things. And I was at Angela Walter's very first quilt retreat. And I was sitting there with 2 of my friends, and I was like, that's it, I'm opening a quilt shop. So tonight is our monthly sip and show. And I invited Jenny, so I hope she comes. We have our monthly sip and show to allow people to come and show off anything they're really excited about. It can be a quilt, a bag, a garment that they made, something they've cross-stitched, embroidered. It's just a fun 2 hours of having fun, socializing with others that just like to create. I think we're all serial creators, so it's open for everybody. We had one lady come one time. She wasn't a quilter, but wanted to come and have fun, and she showed off her new pair of shoes. So we like seeing anything that makes people happy. Obviously, Miss Jenny is here, Jenny Dome from Missouri Star Quilt Company. Yes. So I have to say this: if you do not want to be filmed, now's the time to leave. Sorry. So
if you're in witness protection, just get up. No one will say anything.
We'll put a bag over your head. I knew there was something about it, Kathy.
I was filming at a place in a retreat center in New York, and I said, well, I'm going to start right over here at this table. And these 2 ladies look at me and they go, you can't start at this table. And I'm like, oh, okay. And she goes, yeah. We called in sick to work today. And if it's on the national news, because this was a news team that was filming, and she's like, and if it's on the news, we're going to get fired. And I was like, okay, all right, I'll start over here.
Wow, having Jenny in my shop today, what a great surprise, and I feel truly blessed to have somebody like Jenny come into my shop and talk about my shop. And I loved being able just to have the banter with her, two shop owners talking, and somebody with all of her experience and her exposure. That was really great. And one of my favorite things was actually just being able to sit down and talk with her for a few minutes, just one-on-one, and really just enjoy two people that really like to create and make things. I think it was real evident we're both very direct people, very opinionated people. I think our backgrounds, you know, I grew up a tomboy, Jenny grew up a tomboy. Both learned from our moms how to sew and how to quilt, and really enjoy that. And I think too, another commonality, I think we both like to teach people and please people. That's real evident. And yeah, I think we're both hard-headed too, a little bit. I think I can see that a little bit in a good way. It's so cute.
So this is kind of like love on the side. Take that for whatever you want. Wait a minute. We got a new show.
I think we just got a new show.
Oh, there you go. I just appreciate you letting us come in here and just be here with you all, especially on a night like this where you share, because I know how brave that is to stand up here and share something from your heart that you've spent your time and effort on. So thank you for having us, you guys.
All right, gang, anything else? Any questions, any ideas, I think we should just end it on that, because that was really awesome. That was really awesome. I'll send out updated things for next month, what day we're gonna meet, and some ideas. And thank you for spending the day at my shop.
It's been delightful.
It means thank you. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate it.
Gotta do our 8 seconds.
8 seconds.
8 seconds. You have to hug for 8 seconds to make it count.
They all know that I hug them.
Do you know, somebody told me that, and they're like, that's 56 hugs a day for you, Doan. You know, because I like have 7 children. Ron, that was so much fun, wasn't it?
It was awesome.
This is a great little shop.